Lebanon's caretaker Prime Minister Najib Mikati has appealed to Israel to fully commit and withdraw from all the regions and positions it occupied, hours after the truce between Israel and Hezbollah was activated. A ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah was held after both sides accepted an agreement brokered by the US and France. The agreement is a major achievement for the US in the waning days of the US President Joe Biden's administration. The Speaker of Lebanon's parliament, Nabih Berri, has declared that Lebanon is entering a new phase after what he described as the successful thwarting of Israeli aggression. Berri added that the war with Israel had been in the most dangerous phase that his country had endured in its history. He called on all displaced citizens to return to their land, even if it is in ruins, emphasizing the importance of resilience in rebuilding the nation. The international community, including the United States, the United Kingdom, the European Union, Germany, the United Nations, Egypt, Turkey, Jordan, and Iran, have welcomed a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hezbollah. The community welcomed the ceasefire that went into effect early today between Israel and Hezbollah and expressed hopes that it could also pave the way towards an end to the war in Gaza. Long-displaced residents of South Lebanon have started returning to their homes after a ceasefire took effect at 4 a.m. local time. Thousands of people made their way into southern Lebanon, defying a warning from the Israeli military to stay away from previously evacuated areas. The ceasefire has brought relief across the nation, coming after days of some of the most intense airstrikes and clashes since the war began, though many wonder if the agreement to stop fighting will hold. Palestinians have expressed hope that there would be a ceasefire in Gaza now that Israel and Hezbollah have agreed to a truce. But some feared that Israel would be more heavy-handed with Gaza now that its forces were freed from the fighting against Hezbollah. International mediation efforts intending to clinch a deal have repeatedly faltered, and the war is now in its 14th month with no end in sight. The death toll in the Gaza Strip has risen to 44,282, with the number of injuries rising to 104,880 since the start of the Israeli occupation aggression on the 7th of October 2023. Medical sources indicated that the occupation forces committed 3 massacres during the past 24 hours, killing 33 citizens and injuring 134 others. And a number of Palestinians, including children and women, have been killed and injured since dawn in the bombing of Gaza City and Beit Lahia in the northern Gaza Strip by Israeli warplanes. Medical sources reported that 8 people were killed in an Israeli bombing of El Tabi'in school in the Gaza City at dawn. 1 person was also killed in a bombing of a house on Baghdad Street in Shuja'iyya, and 3 others died in an attack on the gate of Kamal Adwan Hospital in Beit Lahia, causing additional injuries. The United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees, the UNRWA, has warned of the repercussions of hunger in the Gaza Strip reaching critical levels, calling for an immediate ceasefire. The UN agency said in a brief statement on X that hunger in Gaza has reached critical levels as people search for leftover food in the garbage that has been left for weeks. The agency added, with the onset of winter, the situation is rapidly deteriorating and survival is becoming impossible without urgent humanitarian aid. It closed its statement by saying that a ceasefire must be reached immediately. And the UN has reported that Israel either denied or impeded all life-saving assistance attempts in the northern Gaza Strip in November. Deputy spokesman Farhan Haq has said that 37 attempts to reach Palestinians in besieged areas of North Gaza with life-saving assistance were denied by Israeli authorities. Haq noted that 4 missions were approved, but then impeded on the ground and accomplished only partially. The Israeli occupation forces have detained at least 15 people, including a child and a student, in the occupied West Bank during the last 24 hours. The Detainees and Ex-Detainees Affairs Commission and the Palestinian Prisoners Society reported that detention operations occurred in Qalqilya, Ramallah, Hebron, Nablus, Bethlehem and Tubas, where Israeli forces carried out military raids and destroyed homes and infrastructure. The operation involved widespread raids, abuse, assaults, threats to detainees and their families, and the vandalism of homes.